Good evening, everyone. How you doing? How is everything? So, I don't know. I had no plan to to even address us for the next 4 5 days, but then my mouth not agree me. So it is. I've not really been feeling too good for the past few days now. I don't know. It's probably overthinking. I then like it's just well. But then even the last class we had, I was not feeling too good as well. But then that's just it's everything will pass by. So the thing is, let's just be focusing on what is set, before us. So now let me quickly. I just want to quickly talk about one or two things, and then we are probably done for what's it called? What I want to talk about tonight. So the thing is, I saw something today, and then I was like mesmerized about what I saw because this was literally what I thought here some time ago. I think that was when I was talking about. Okay, I've never even talked about the average energy and then the superstar energy here before. But then, um, and then we were talking about something some time ago, and then we mentioned something about the fact that some people, the reason why they are the way they are is because of how they grew up. I don't know if some of us still remember. And then what I saw, like literally validated those things I said. And then I was like, wow, even people know this thing, but then they don't want you to know because they want to keep you in a place of perpetual slavery. How that day in day out, you are subjected to the way they want to control you, and then they will tell you your parents knows the best for you. Mind you, I'm not against the style of parenthood in Africa or even in what's it called, but then think about it. The reason why some of you are still the way you are now is because of how you were brought up. And they've imbibed in you, or should I say imbibed in you, some kind of mindset, some kind of orientation, which over time has proven to be the main source for your failing in different things you've been doing. For example, they made you to understand that money is the major thing that you need to get in life for you to be successful. While at the same time, these are the same set of people that will tell you that money is the root of all evil. Some parents even made it to hate millionaires or anybody that have money. They'll be like, anybody that has money is stingy, anybody that have money probably did something that is bad and all those things. So this has been going on over time, and then when we look at it, we could see the fact that right from infancy, lot of us we've been choked up with lot of mindsets, with lot of thinking, with lot of faculties that does not really align with the superstar energy. Talking about superstar energy, I mean the energy of someone which is meant for greatness. And then you jejely, when you were coming to this world, God has placed so much potential in you. Like when God sees that the gene of your parents, I mean the gene of your father with the gene of your mother combined together will give birth to someone great, and the someone great is you. But then, despite the two genes coming together and the two chromosomes coming together to form a being called you, called John, called Daniel, called Chooks, called anything, these same people who are expected to nurture you were now the same reason why you are failing in life now. For example, I mentioned this some time ago. I don't know some of us who will still remember this thing. I mentioned something about the fact that when you were small, you were a very very bright student. You had a lot of things, like your brain is literally functioning at a very very high energy. Like you were thinking about a lot of things. You were thinking about a lot of big things. But then over time, when you want to give an idea, your parents will be like, shut up, what do you know? Shut up, do you know life? Shut up, have you ever seen this thing about life? Shut up, what exactly have you experienced about life? And then by doing some of those things, you begin to have a low self-esteem in yourself, and then you begin to doubt that you begin to doubt your own capacity, the capacity that has been carefully made. Have you even ever thought about the fact that when you were growing up, There were so much things you were capable of doing. There were so much thinking you were capable of doing. But then as you begin to grow up, as you begin to see some certain things, as some people begin to say some certain thing to you, you begin to doubt that thing which you could initially do easily. And now as a result of you doubting yourself, you begin to fail. And this will bring me to the fact that I want you to understand the fact that doubt is one of the greatest enemy to success. What you don't believe can never work for you. Anything you don't have faith in will never work for you. It is not a cause, it's just a reality of life. It's just like the law of gravity. Anything that goes up must come down. It is the same thing here, it is the same thing in China, it is the same thing in Europe, it is the same thing everywhere. That is the reason why even the scripture says that the heart is made unto what? Unto believing. What you don't believe, you can never manifest. But then you had so much faith in the when you were very small. You had so much trust in the system. You had so much trust in your parents. You had so much trust in every single thing around you. But then as you begin to grow up, as you begin to come into the realization of some certain things about life, you begin to doubt yourself. You begin to doubt your capacity. Have you ever wondered why China as a country begins to China, US, I think Russia is now on that path as well now. China, US, even South Korea, and some other developed countries like that. Right from when their children are very, very, very young, they will begin to train them. They will begin to model them for them to be expressive regarding anything that comes to their mind. They don't force you to go to science class. They don't force you to go to art class. Some of you, the way you were created, the way you were fashioned to become an artist. But then here you are in what's it called? You are probably doing law, or you are probably doing SLT, or you are probably doing microbiology, or you are probably doing MLS. But then the way you were fashioned in such a way that you were beautifully and carefully crafted for you to show forth a possibility. But then the system around you have been choking it. It has been choking. Remember what the scripture said. I remember what the scripture said about the parable of the sower. Some were dropped along the sideway, and then as people begin to pass, they begin to step on it. Those ones were the kind of seed in which, when those things in you, people themselves begin to step on it as it wanted to germinate. Your parents, your probably cousin, it might not even be your parents, it might be people around you, your environment, your teachers, and all those things. As those things wanted to find expression, they will begin to step on it, and then they will not germinate. That is one. The second one, as it is about to grow, the thorns around will begin to choke it up. The thorns can be in form of a government, but then you have nothing to complain about. You don't have to complain about that because you were the one that placed yourself in the midst of thorns. There were some, they were growing, but then they did not really have enough water to germinate. They did not really have enough nutrients to germinate. This one could come in the place of mentorship, in the place of someone who could carefully nurture you to begin to look like who God or who you are expected to be. But then in the place where the accurate mentorship, in the place where the accurate nurturing is lacking, the seed begins to dry because there is no place where it could derive its nutrients from. And then the ones that ends up succeeding, now hear me very well, the ones that will end up succeeding is not as numerous as those ones that will fall by the roadside and not those ones that will fall, but then the ones that fall on the fertile ground, this is the one that will end up yielding the good fruit. And then the question now is, which one are you going to belong to? Are you going to belong to the one that falls by the roadside that people begin to step on? Are you going to belong to the one that was choked up? Are you going to belong to the one that has no nutrients? Or are you going to become the one that falls on the fertile ground? Because some of you, it's not as if you don't even have the opportunity for you to draw nutrients. But then you yourself, you turn yourself to a xerophyte. Have you ever heard about the xerophyte before? A xerophyte is basically a plant that does not need water. Meanwhile, you are expected to be an hydrophyte. An hydrophyte is the one that needs water for its survival. But then because maybe you see someone who is beside you, who happens, now I'm talking in parable. I'm talking in parable now. Now you have someone who is a 05 beside you, but then in your quest for you to look like other people, in your quest for you to look like those people around you, you made yourself a 05, thereby trying to imitate the characteristics of a 05. Meanwhile, a 05 in itself has the necessary nutrients for it to last for years. It has in it the nutrients for you to last for you to last for years without water. For example, people that are born into a rich person's a rich family, I can literally say that these are examples of 05. They don't really need water, external source of water for their survival. Their parent has everything they have. They don't even need to work for until they die, because there is already a sustenance system in place for them already. But you as a person, you have no sustenance system. You have nothing that will literally tilt you towards the pathway of progress by itself. You don't really have a sustenance system in place already, and you are trying to copy someone who already has a sustenance system. Trust me, you will get choked out due to lack of nutrients. And what are you supposed to do? You are supposed to start looking for resources that will help you to grow. You are supposed to look for resources that will sponsor your growth. Now, we are entering 2026 now. What exactly are you doing for you to attract the nutrients you want? You have a lot of opportunities around. How many are you using? I don't know, even the dream team itself is an opportunity on its own. But then some of you, that's the reason why I've been removing a lot of people lately. You don't really see the opportunity in this thing, and you don't even see it could probably because it's a free class. Well, obviously it's a free class, but then you don't really see it as a collective thing where you can actually learn to build yourself. Because if you actually see it like this, some people have learned from this class and they've been doing well. And 2026 is coming, you start seeing them that they are making lots and lots of money. You start seeing the way they will start scaling in their business. You start seeing the way they will be doing a lot of things. They can even come to me for advice and insight. I will still give them. But then, meanwhile, there are some, they feel like they have no part in anything that will give them, what's it called? And my prayer for people most times is just, may it not be too late before you have sense. Because if there is anything you are supposed to consume, it is something premium that is given for free. You are supposed to consume it greedily. I mean, let me use the word greedily. You are supposed to consume it greedily. Okay, good evening everyone. Hi sir. So I don't know. I had no plan to send to even address us for the next 4 or 5 days. My mouth not to do me. I've not really been going to do for the past 2 days. It's probably overthinking. I don't like it.
I don't care how good you are, I don't care how talented you
are. Okay, good evening everyone. How are you doing? How's everything? I don't know. I had no plan to send to even address us for the next 4 or 5
I don't care how good you are, I don't care how talented you are, I don't care how much you work on yourself. There are some times when things aren't going to go right. There are times when anything that can happen will happen.
Life happens. The unexpected, the uncalled for, the unintentional. We've been damaged emotionally, damaged spiritually.
It may be your business. It may be your heart that is broken today. It may be the number in your bank account that is screaming, You are broke.
You can break physically, you can break mentally, you can break your heart, you can break your spirit, and all of those are gonna leave a mark. But the mark that they leave can be the mark of victory or it can be the mark of defeat.
It is staying with the breaking that produces the blessing. It is not what you go through that determines where you end up. It's who you listen to. Because I think right now, you are walking through a valley between two voices. One is wisdom, one is worry. One is gratitude, one is grumbling. One is blame, one is faith.
Because every time you break, and in every way that you break, while it's a chance for you to give up and for you to fall apart, but there's also opportunity to get stronger and get smarter and get faster and get tougher and get more stable and get more resilient and get better.
What I need you to do is I need you to find a reason to keep going. And if you can find a reason to keep going, I know you're strong enough to do it because you're human. And every human has what it takes to get past whatever they're going through if they decide to. Push through it. Push through it. Tragedy and trials come to everybody. Only the strong survive.
The fight isn't over. The fight is just beginning. You have the opportunity to show the world what you are really made of.
I need you to look at that sickness that's going on in your life right now, whatever it is. I want you to say, I can beat it. I can beat it. I will beat it. I must. I got a family to live for. I ain't through yet. My life ain't over yet. There's some things in life you don't need no degree for. You don't need no money for it. You don't need no support for it. There's some things in life you just gonna get through when you tell yourself, I'm gonna get through this.
Regardless of what happens to you in life, regardless of the adversity, regardless of the opposition, regardless of the trial and tribulation, nothing can stop you. The only thing that can stop you is you. No situation, no circumstance, no piece of adversity can define your life. Never let a circumstance define you.
And I'm not retreating. I'm not running. I don't care what they say on paper. I don't care if you say we outnumbered. We live by this and we die by this. We don't retreat. We don't run. We gonna stand and we gonna live and we gonna die by what we stand for, and everybody gonna know what we represent and what we're part of.
I got staying power. I got staying power.
Be encouraged today that no matter what you walk through, no matter how broken your marriage is, no matter how many times you failed,
there is within you a spirit that is greater than whatever is going on around you.
If you would be willing to fight your way through this battle, fight your way through cancer, fight your way through that academic struggle, fight your way through divorce, fight your way through it. If you are willing to fight your way through that singing career, fight your way through boxing, fight your way through football, I'm telling you, at the end of the fight is going to come victory.
And as you crawl up and out of that dismal and wretched place, as you rise above what you were, and as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, you will see that in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain unbroken.
If you only have 24 hours in a day, your success is dependent upon how you use the 24. You gotta hear me. People talk about Oprah Winfrey, Ted Turner, Warren Buffett. Listen to me. I don't care how much money you make. You only get 24 hours in a day. And the difference between Oprah and the person that's broke is Oprah uses her 24 hours wisely. That's it. Listen to me. That's it. You get 24. I don't care if you broke, you grew up broke. I don't care if you grew up rich. I don't care if you're in college, you're not in college. You only get 24 hours. And I blew up literally. I went from being a high school dropout to selling 6,000 books in less than 6 months. What happened in my 24 hours? I was like, okay, Eric, you got to get a grip on your 24 hours because you're about to be broke for the rest of your life. And that's all I need you to do for me. I can tell you all about your life if you just write down your 24-hour schedule for me and you let me look at it. I can tell you where you're going to be in 5 years. I can tell you where you're going to be in 10 years. I can tell you where you're going to be in 20 years if you keep that schedule.
If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful.